What if the ancient whispers of a cataclysmic flood weren't just a myth? What if the worldwide deluge truly reset civilization? A single vessel carried the seeds of survival through the chaos, and one man and his family outlasted the waters that swallowed everything else. And the shadowy remnants spotted on Mount Ararat in eastern Turkey are either the real weathered timbers of Noah's Ark or a deeper enigma, illusions masking ancient secrets still hiding in plain sight on that forbidden mountain. Are you ready? Let's get into it. A man and his family, known in various ancient traditions simply as a flood hero, was depicted as an upright individual warned by higher forces of an approaching catastrophe that would engulf the known world. He was instructed to build a massive multi-level craft sealed against the elements, designed not merely as transportation, but as a deliberate ark to preserve essential life forms, genetic diversity, and perhaps deeper knowledge from a vanishing age. And far from a simple boat tale, this vessel emerges across cultures as an engineered refuge against total dissolution, its dimensions and purpose, hinting at advanced understanding of scale, buoyancy, and endurance in the face of global upheaval. This flood-surviving archetype appears in Greek tradition through Deucalion, a righteous man warned of impending deluge that drowned the corrupt world. With his wife, he built a sealed vessel to endure the flood, emerging as sole survivors on a mountain. And by casting stones that transformed into men and women, they repopulated the earth, birthing what the ancients called the second race of humanity, a tougher lineage marking a deliberate reset after a catastrophe. Flood's surviving tale traces back even earlier in Mesopotamian lore through the Epic of Gilgamesh, humanity's oldest recorded epic. The hero Gilgamesh seeks out the immortal survivor of a devastating deluge unleashed by the gods to erase noisy, corrupt humankind. A divine whisper secretly warned this upright ruler to construct a vast multi-decked vessel, sealing it tightly and loading aboard his family, skilled workers, animals, and vital seeds. Enduring terrifying storms that lasted days and left even the gods in fear, those aboard preserved, grounding on a distant mountain. Rewarded for safeguarding life, the gods bestowed eternal existence upon the survivor and his wife, another vivid echo of a calculated reset, where one household bridged total annihilation and the dawn of renewal. This same pattern surfaces in ancient Hindu lore through Manu, regarded as humanity's progenitor. A divine fish warned him of a deluge to drown the corrupt world. He built a sturdy vessel, loading seeds of life, sacred knowledge, family, and wise companions, then tethered it to a fish for guidance through the chaos to the mountain refuge. And as waters fell, a ritual sparked renewal, seeding fresh humanity, yet another echo of preservation amid destruction. Didn't end there. These shared motifs of warning, vessel, survival, and rebirth appear across continents, reaching even the indigenous peoples of Americas in countless tribal traditions. From the Great Lakes to the Pacific Northwest and Southwest, oral stories describe of a catastrophic deluge that sent to cleanse corruption, with a chosen survival or small group riding out the waters on a raft or boat, often landing on high ground or a mountain before repopulating the land. A vivid reminder that this ancient memory truly spanned the world. So, just a tale? Or a man who really did create a lifeboat for humanity and survive. Well, not so fast. Us truth seekers have questions. From a scientific perspective, a literal global flood submerging the entire Earth, including its highest peaks, faces insurmountable physical and geological barriers. Earth's current total water volume, oceans, ice, groundwater, atmosphere, is roughly 332 million cubic miles, enough water to cover a perfectly smooth planet in a shell about 1.7 miles deep. But to inundate the highest mountain, Mount Everest, at approximately 29,000 feet, that's about 5.5 miles above sea level, plus the biblical mention of waters rising 15 cubits, roughly 22 feet over the peaks, would require roughly 3 to 4 times more water than exists on the planet today. Billions of additional cubic miles with no source or storage mechanism. If topography were flatter in the past, a common counterclaim, the violent tectonic upheavals needed to raise modern ranges in months would release catastrophic heat and energy, boiling oceans and destroying any vessel. Geology shows no uniform worldwide sediment layer or erosion pattern from such an event. Instead, rock records reveal gradual processes over millions of years. Many hold to the Noah account as a profound story of divine judgment, grace, and new beginnings. And from a scientific view, Earth's total water supply, even with the days of heavy rain, cannot cover the highest peaks, like Everest, lacking several times the volume needed and no mechanism to source or remove it afterwards. And geology shows no single worldwide flood layer, suggesting a gradual process instead. This suggests the 40 days and 40 nights motif reoccurs often in Scripture. Moses, Elijah, wandering in the wilderness, Jesus' fast, all symbolize a full period of trial or transition rather than a precise literal account. Remarkably, similar flood survivor tales appear worldwide, pointing to several shared ancient memory that may have inspired these enduring narratives. So, clearly something did take place. You know what this means? It's time to remote view. Before we go any further, let's elevate your journey, personal and cosmic. Meet your must-have companion, the Energy Healing Map at mdhmap.com. Perfect for beginners and pros. It's your guide to clearing trapped emotional energies like ancestral or past life baggage, aligning your vibration with your goals. Imagine releasing old vibes to unlock new skills like remote viewing. With a clear energy field, you'll tap into the unseen. mdhmap.com helps you heal, grow, and explore your universe. Grab your energy healing map today, clear the past energies, and align your vibe, and see what's out there. Visit mdhmap.com now.
I am so impressed with this website, how well you've done it. You know, I worked in analytics, IT systems before, and I'm thinking, wow, this is a lot of work. And the navigation and to know and just the whole mapping, you must be a very analytical person because this is so well done. So, I love it. Thank you.
All right, superhumans, we are in part 2 of Noah's Ark. Is it real? Is it imagination? Is it just folklore? Is there something on Mount Ararat? Oh, our inquiring minds want to know. All right, Christina, what do you got?
What do I got? Oh my gosh. So there was an ark, but what came into me was that there was actually more than one. So
I haven't got that far, but you know what is interesting? I don't know about the more than one, and we'll test it here
yeah.
as we go into it. But when I tuned in, I was just focused on the arc itself. So attention, intention, and attunement on the story. On the story.
Yeah.
What was interesting, one of the questions I asked is, was there a man named Noah? And do you know what I got? No,
No.
no. So it's probably yes. And then when I drilled down, so before I hit the tact,
Yeah.
I did get that there was a man and his family that actually did survive a flood event. That
Hmm.
came in really clearly. But I don't know if it's through mistranslation or misunderstanding. I'm not, I'm, it's not that there wasn't a man named Noah. It's just that I don't know that I'm pronouncing the name correctly because this work is so literal.
Yeah, that's truth. And then you have to remember that, where we're getting the information from, a human being actually translated, you know,
Over
copy
how many millennia? Yeah.
millennia. So could somebody have translated the name wrong? Stranger things have happened, so
Or just in the dialect, tomato,
right,
tomato.
right. So yeah.
One of the things that I did find interesting is I did not see a worldwide catastrophe. And I think part of the reason why this um, story, or maybe the translation, I mean, it's like there is evidence. I feel there is an actual, at least one, maybe more. I didn't check to see if there's even more. But remember, this is going way back into time. And I'm thinking it's at the end of the Ice Age.
Right.
The sea levels are coming up. And because of that, the land is very unstable. I think we saw this when we remote viewed it with
Hmm.
the time of the sinking of Atlantis. And I feel like this is all in that same time period.
Right.
And when I look at that flood event, you'll never guess where I saw it. I think it's the area, it's like in the Black Sea area. I
Hmm.
feel like there was either an earthquake, a tectonic shift. There was something that took place, and
Hmm.
it was a massive flood. Like if you are somebody who never went outside, say a 10-mile radius of where you were born, that is your entire world.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, let me let me get you tuned in. Let's get you tuned in. And the reason I'm having you tune in is because, sorry, audience, she knows I've been discombobulated from a fall. So I'll have you tune in. You don't have to go into trance, but just tune in,
I'm
into the lighter alpha.
yeah.
And then I'm going to do a screen share. And there's something I want to ask.
Okay.
And it's going to be the image that you see. Is it the remnants or was it made by the ark? There are people that are claiming that it is ark related. So you see the image here.
Yeah. What comes into me is that it's a natural formation.
Yeah, I keep getting natural formation too, but everybody wants to say, oh no, this is the ark because it's got the shape of an ark,
Yeah,
right?
it's got the shape, but it's a natural formation. It's not the arc.
Let's ask, you know what? I think it's a combination of structure and natural formation. Can we reevaluate that? And I don't know that I don't, when you're saying arc, I'm totally off the arc here. I am not feeling that this is the arc at
Right.
all. Um, but I do feel this is a natural formation, but I feel that there is man-made structure either on top of it or has been part of it.
I think I would agree with that because what we're seeing on top is the natural formation, but I do get a feeling that if you were to really dig down, you would find some remnants of stuff.
Right. Some civilization, man-made something stuff.
Right. Right. You would find artifact if you dug down.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right. Now, go ahead and take up where we left off.
Okay. So every time I tuned in, I kept getting Noah's Ark is not on Mount Ararat every time I tuned in. And I also got that there's more than one ark. So maybe that was my, like, I was so focused, I was so focused on the other thing that I didn't get, like, that's why Mount Ararat just wouldn't line up for me. But when we were just talking and tuning in and checking a story that you were remembering citing in your term paper, I got that yes, that's right. That somebody did actually walk inside the wooden
No, that
vessel, and it was the ark, or what we are calling the ark. But like you and I are sort of saying now, there wasn't just one ark.
all right, but you heard the question when you originally asked it. Is Noah's Ark on Mount Ararat? And you got no.
Right.
There you go. I said, it does Noah's Ark exist? I got no. It's the
It's
language.
it's the name Noah.
Yes, it's not recognizing Noah. So
Yeah.
and everything is frequency. Everybody understand
Right.
this from the very beginning. If you want to get into the world of woo, you gotta understand what
Yeah.
Nikola Tesla was talking about: energy, vibration, and frequency. And it's not liking us using the word Noah. That doesn't mean that there's not a biblical man and family that they're referring to. I do feel there was a man and his family.
Right.
There was more than one that actually built a boat and survived. But into the Noah's Ark story, there is an ark on Ararat, and I do feel it's broken in two when I remote view it. So I feel like there's like part of it that slid down.
Mhm.
And the story that you're referring to that I used in a term paper long ago was there was a man when he was a child ascended it during a period where there was ice melt and part of the ark was exposed, and his father lowered him inside the ark, and he kept that story to the day he died. I mean, and when I tune into that, that feels very true. So I feel like whatever the universe wants me to call him, there is a biblical man and his family that survived, that is talking about a man that survived with his family.
Right.
But it didn't begin or end there, and but the population was pretty isolated in one area of the world. Um, but it does, I do feel that more than one boat was created,
Yeah.
but everything sort of got funneled into this one boat,
Mhm.
right? And it does feel to me that it was during the end of the last ice age. The land was very unstable in places, and to me, it feels to me that the Black Sea formed around this time. Oh my goodness. We need to look at that. Did the Black Sea actually form around the time of the Ice Age? Oh, inquiring minds need to know. All right, Christina, I'm going to ask you, did the Black Sea form around the time of the Ice Age, the
Yes.
last Ice Age?
Oh, yes. Yes.
So I feel like that event in that region was so catastrophic. And yes, there is a boat. There is one. I think it survives, and it is on Ararat. I don't know that the other ships, I'm not feeling existence around them. So I feel like that's kind of our big ship. It's like the big ship.
Yeah.
Now, did it have a two of every kind? I'm getting no, it didn't.
Mm-mm. Couldn't have.
Mm-mm. Was there more than one family on the boat we call Noah's Ark? I'm getting there's more than just his family on there, even though that is the story in the Bible.
Right. Where it's definitely there's more than just his family there.
And may I remind people, you know, there's been a lot of translations over the years, and sometimes people get it right, some people get it wrong. Just like um, the Red Sea is actually the Sea of Reeds in its literal translation. So that's a big difference, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a significant difference.
Right.
Um, all right, so there was a man and a family and some other people that survived more than one ark, and it was around this catastrophe happened around the end of the Ice Age. So the entire world was not flooded, but the entire area of that place, it was massive catastrophe.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think the time period we're talking about, there were similar floods because there are so many flood stories. Culturally, there are so many that I think that there were floods happening in lots of places around the same time.
Well, that makes sense considering when we tuned into Atlantis, being
Right.
in that mid-Atlantic ridge area and the sinking, you know,
Right.
the world became very, I feel like there's a tipping point when the weight of the ice began to, because ice is heavier,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So as it began to melt, there was a tipping point that caused a lot of tectonic plate shifts. And of course, that would make sense. There's going to be floods everywhere. There's going to be all kinds of stuff going on everywhere.
Right.
The fact that people survived it, I think we're testimony to that,
Right.
you know. Was the world under 40 feet of water or 20 feet at the highest mountain? I get a no. There's Where would it run off to?
Right.
So it was, but the washing, okay, that's what feels like there's a washing over. I don't know what I'm saying here. That's what I just got. It just hit me. It's a washing over. Sit with that. What am I saying?
Washing
It's
over,
like, like if you're sloshing, and then there's the
and then
washing over.
the waves washing over you.
What's how it feels?
Well, that would explain why you would think that the water was that high.
Yeah, maybe it was for moments in the
Right.
sloshing.
Right.
I don't know. That doesn't feel fully right either. But I do feel such an unstable, and it's the plate movement. And that's why you're getting it all over the place. The flood stories all over the place.
Right. Well, I think it's plate movement, and you've also got then just the melting.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the melting caused the destabilization.
Right.
So it feels like it's coming in.
Right.
Um, the big question, Christina, will it be found?
Will it be found? I get no.
I, I want it to be found. Have people walked inside it? Was that young boy? Um, I feel that he did. He was inside of it when it was exposed.
I I I agree with that. I believe that he did walk inside of it. Um and that's kind of what comes in for me as well. It's just at this point in time, if we're talking about a wooden structure, you know,
But remember, it was made of a certain hard oak, and if pieces of it were still in structure in 1908, 1903, 19
right,
what,
right.
I would think that some of it would be available, but would it be? We just don't know what we have.
Right. Right.
And people have pieces of it, but they don't know they have pieces of it.
Right. Right.
I guess, okay, so let's refine the question.
Yeah. Go.
We just kind of we paused the video for the audience and we retuned back in because Christina and I are at the point where we really, 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 really want it to be found. And we keep getting that's the thing, when you have to get yourself out of the space and go into complete neutrality, you're going to get answers that you don't want. And so we checked again. Yes, there was a man that we refer to as Noah. He's actually going by a name that apparently we don't understand, but at any rate, that's the universe for you. And it's literal, like working with a program and a computer. There was a man and a family. He had a boat, he built a boat that landed on Mount Ararat. There was a little boy who did see it. There's other people, villagers nearby that actually did see it. I feel like relics of it do survive. We don't know that that was part of Noah's Ark. So there's an ignorance gap there on what people have. They don't know that they have. But to find this ship, we're getting no. And that is such a bummer for me. Dang it. That is not the answer I want. Oh, my word. What do you say, Christina? Disappointed as I am?
Yeah, I was hoping that yeah, we would say, "Oh yeah, sure, we're gonna find it," and give us a a date range.
Yeah, will I still be alive when they find it?
Okay.
Darn.
Yeah.
When remote viewing goes bad.
Now, Sally, that remote view didn't go bad. It just didn't go the way we wanted. So,
Right? I
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I know. All right.
So, what are we doing next?
We are going to remote view. Where's my drum roll? Darn it, I need a drum roll. Valiant Thor. Who's Valiant Thor? I'm going to tell you real quick. I have my notes up here, so bear with me. In March 1957, a handsome human-like being, tall with 6 fingers and no fingerprints, copper red hair. I'm taking issue with the copper red hair thing going on between that and the Giants. And advanced abilities like telepathy and levitation, allegedly landed his craft near Alexandria, Virginia. He walked into the Pentagon unannounced, identified himself as Valiant Thor from Venus, and requested meetings with top officials. Ooh. He supposedly met with President Dwight D. Eisenhower and Vice President Richard Nixon and various other military scientific leaders. Thor lived inside the Pentagon, sometimes described as the basement, for about 3 years, advising on advanced technology, peace, and spiritual matters. And we're going to look into it because it sounds just a little on the hokey side, but I think it'll be fun. Is there anything to it? And with disclosure coming up, it kind of makes you wonder, the things you thought were a little bit nutty, there actually might be something to it. Right? All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and that notification bell. Hit that so you don't miss an upcoming video on Valiant Thor. Is he real, or is he just a figment of somebody's imagination? Thanks for watching.